Today we're at the Museum of Cornish Life and we're focusing in on our World War II stories this week following the anniversary of the 75 years since V-Day, and we're going to be looking at aircraft today. Aircraft obviously featured really importantly in Cornwall, and even today obviously we've got called Rose nearby. So aircraft were really important because obviously for both defence and attack during the war, but also for civilians who used to have to identify the aircraft so they would know. So we've got one of these aircraft identification posters here with the German planes and the British planes, and it was really important for people to be able to recognise the shapes of planes so they would know what action to take. And today we're going to make our own plane based on this Supermarine Spitfire. So the Spitfire planes. Now, I'm not an aviation expert, so I'm going to read you some key facts. So the Supermarine Spitfire was a single-seater fighter aircraft, so there's only one person there, and it was used by the Royal Air Force throughout the Second World War. And it was designed by someone called R.J. Mitchell. And the thing about the Spitfire, it was at short range. So it was really high performing, and it was there to intercept enemy aircraft. And there were more Spitfires made than any other aircraft during the war. And it had a very special wing shape. So it had an elliptical wing shape. And it was very thin in the cross section, so that's like if you cut it, the wing like a loaf of bread, and that allowed it to have not much drag. So if you're looking at how planes fly, you'll know about the different forces, and one you want to minimise is drag. So if you think about that, it allowed them to go really fast, and the Spitfire was so high performing, it had a greater victory to loss ratio than any of the units flying Hurricanes. Now we are going to make our own paper aeroplane inspired by the Spitfire, and fingers crossed this goes okay. With paper aeroplanes, just always remember you can generally chuck them at the end, so you're going to have a good time. What you're going to need is a single bit of paper. I actually made one earlier that wasn't even A4 paper, so as long as you've kind of got one roughly this shape in your house. And what we do is the classic fold first of all. So you get your paper, fold it in half. And I'm going to move to one here that I've already folded out because it will help me if I forget what I'm doing. So we fold the paper in half so you have a nice long shape. Can you see that? And just make sure you've got a nice edge. Okay, and then what we do is we then fold in the sides. So you've got that classic point that you get in a paper aeroplane, nice and folded in, okay? And then what we do is we get this very tip bit, we're going to fold the top point down to here. Do you see like that? To make a stubby nose. I've got that nice and there. But we obviously are making an aeroplane, so it needs a pointed nose. So then we're going to fold in from this line, we're going to fold in the corners. So you can see how I've done that here. We fold the stubby line down just to show you again, because it can be hard. But we want a pointy nose, so we're going to fold down those corners. So you just make sure, and always with paper aeroplanes, you just need to make sure you're creasing. So you can see I've done that again to show you. Crease, crease, crease. And if you run your nail down, now I'm going to go to the one I've pre-folded because it's just a bit easier. There we go. Then we want to, at this pointed corner line here, fold it over. And what I'm going to do is take some photographs of this so you can see. So I'm going to do that again so you can see in this one, because I find with these things I watch the videos and I don't know what they're doing. So go to the corners and fold it over again. There we go. Now what we do, it looks a bit like an envelope. This bit here we want to fold the tip back. So you just get it about here and fold the tip back. So if I do this here again so you can see, we fold and up. I'm just turning my guide notes over. And then if you turn that over, turn it over, turn it over, and then I turn them on the side, we want to fold your plane in half. So fold your plane against the way you were folding before. So if I show you that again, you've got to turn it over and fold it. And we've got it here. Okay. Now what you want to do then is start thinking about the wings. At this point here, you fold your plane over and rub, and then you can see the other side, you want to do the same. Fold it over and rub. So if I show you, so you get your little mark there and fold it over and rub. This might not be very good contrast with the tablecloth. Fold it over and rub. What we then do is just open it back up again, so you can see you've got all your folded bit here, folded bit here. Now this is where we have to do some cutting and drawing. So you will need your scissors and you will need your ruler. And I forgot to bring my pencil up. So luckily I've drawn lines before, so you're going to have to imagine my finger is a magic pen. Okay, so what you do is, where you've got that crease from where you folded it, the crease here, just your ruler here, and you just put your ruler against that line, and then I'm going to draw roughly 3 centimetres down with my magic pen. Woo! And I will use a magic pen of a pair of scissors here. Don't do this at home, people. Pretend this is my, there we go, 3 centimetres down. Then on this side here, you just draw a nice straight line. So there's my magic pen. Woo! Up to the fold where you've got that line. So here I would be going along. So I'll use my scissors as a magic pen. Woo! Here we go. Then at this fold, where you can see the fold here, again, draw 3 centimetres up. 3 centimetres. And I'll do 3 centimetres. And what you're left with is a shape a little bit like a chimney. I don't know if you can see. Chimney shape. Page. Just the the plane was a bit longer. What we want to do is cut now this chimney shape out. So if you're very little, get help. Injure yourself. So what we do is, I just turned it around because I find it easier to cut it that way. We cut out the chimney shape. Both sides of the bit of paper. Not cutting your finger off, not causing any injury. We don't want a blood-soaked bit of paper. Don't want to be sending anyone to hospital. And on this one, I'm going to imagine, oh, I can see my lines. Down, down. That magic pen worked well, everybody. Down. So you can see those funny chimney shapes I'm always talking about. We've got them here, and they're done. Now we have our plane, and it's looking very plane-like now. So what we want to do is just fold these wings down. Fold them down. And then we also want to give our plane, if you look here on one I made earlier, some sort of folded wingtips. So give them a little fold. Now we already did 2 stages there, so I'll do this over here. I'll wing. Fold my wing over, fold my wing tip over, This one looks like it's had a bit more to eat than the other plane. There we go. Now, what we do is help our aeroplanes fly a little bit faster. So if you lift the little wings up again, the tail pins, fold, do a little fold in the tail like that. Can you see that? This is quite tricky. Just because in your brain it kind of melts it out a bit. So you're not cutting or anything, you're going from a bit here to here. And fold, and then turn it over and do the same on the other side. And then when you've done that, and if it's fiddly, don't worry, just cut it out and sellotape it. But it's slightly better if you don't. You then bring up our aeroplane middle bit here. And fold that pointy bit up the way. And then fold those wings out again. And we are left with a lovely aeroplane, which we can then fly. And I will get two because it means I can fly this one as well. I'll do that funny fold again. So fold it up, fold it around the other side. You have to do this one quite carefully or it kind of doesn't really work so well when you pull it in. Otherwise she can be a bit more slapdash on, to be honest. Go. Now, I have got two lovely aeroplanes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take photographs of each of the stages and put it on a sheet so we can have it on our website. But have a go at making your own paper aeroplanes. It's really good fun to do this in your house with your family members, and you can have competition so you can throw the furthest. You can also decorate them. But I am just going to have a couple of tests. Let me see. Woo! Let me go again. Let me try and go. Woo! Oh, it's crashed! So we hope you had fun today and join us next week.